Boom, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Nolan Hawkeye Anthony YouTube channel. And I thank all of you for being here, wherever you may be, and of course, however you may be listening. I'm going to make this short and sweet. I just got done finishing a varsity boys high school game, and I got to get up early tomorrow morning. But your boy still gives you content no matter what, having you guys covered every step of the way. I'm very proud of the recent content that I've been able to put out, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, even when it hasn't been the most positive commentary or content for various reasons, losses, whatever the case may be. So Iowa picks up a 76-75 victory over Penn State. By the way, guys, if you guys aren't subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button, support your boy, like, comment, let me know what you guys think. I always read the comments and respond to, I would say, a majority of them, especially the ones that are respectful and actually making a argument of some kind. I always say I don't care if you disagree with me, just as long as you have an argument behind it. It was good for them to get back in the win column. They obviously Iowa would be much better off if they left 2-0 from this home stint. It really is unfortunate because the Minnesota loss, I don't want to make this too much about the Minnesota loss, but that might end up being the game that keeps Iowa out of the NCAA tournament. I mean, up until that point, they had not had any bad losses. Not that Minnesota is a bad loss, and Minnesota can certainly become a better team as the year goes on, and Iowa at this point kind of has to hope that that's the case. But these were two very winnable games, and Iowa obviously was in a tailspin from their trip to the West Coast. And not that this is a valid excuse, but again, when they went to the West Coast, I did not value enough the type of trip that it was and just kind of how long the trip has been from them to going to Southern California to coming back and the 3 game stint there. Now, at the end of the day, there's no excuse for them losing to Minnesota at home. They should have won. So, anyways, that is that. Okay, it obviously would have been much better had they won these 2 games. And had they won these 2 games, they would probably be sitting right on the cusp of the NCAA tournament. So Penn State was actually way higher ranked than I anticipated. They are actually at this point ranked higher than Iowa. They sit 49th in the net ranking, and I was actually really surprised by that. They've surged in recent weeks. So this was actually a quality victory. Still, Iowa should have won this. It being at home. The one negative, I was okay with Iowa's defensive performance. Their offense looked a little bit better from their game against Minnesota, but Iowa almost gave this game away to Penn State. Penn State almost stole this game, and Fran McCaffrey always says this: when you're in the Big Ten or any Power Four level, but especially the Big Ten, and you're on the road against a decent ball club, your goal as the road team is to just hang around long enough to steal the victory and make enough plays at the end because you really have nothing to lose. All the pressure is on the home team and steal it at the end. And Penn State almost did that. And that's the same with the sports that I officiate. Good coaches feel the same way, and that was my mentality as a player myself. So thankfully it didn't happen, but it definitely is a negative that Iowa went the final roughly minute and roughly 25 seconds with 0 points. It was 76 to like 71, and they went over. So that's a problem. And Unfortunately, Iowa just does not have a guy like a Keegan Murray or like a Chris Murray or like a Luca Garza that or hell, even a Tony Perkins at times last year that will win games for you at the end. They want the ball in their hands and they're going to win a ball game for you. Peter Jock back in the day hit some big shots. Aaron White, definitely Jared Utoff. I think Jared Utoff was probably Iowa's most clutch player under Fran McCaffrey. Maybe Jordan Bohannon. So those are some names that come to mind. And they're not always the team's best player, but they just have this savviness to them at the end of the game. And to me, that guy needs to be Josh Dix. He is Iowa's most gifted scorer. And one of the drawbacks to Fran McCaffrey's open system is even towards the end of the game, they continue to have this open system where they're not necessarily, sometimes they do, but I would say more often than not, they don't, where they try and get somebody the ball outside of the system. Even when they do that, they do it within their system. And it hurts Iowa at times. That type of offense is really nice during the majority of the game, but when you're in crunch time under 2 minutes, and the opposing team is and it's a close game, and they've keyed on your offense and your flow for that game, as well as what the refs are allowing and calling. Um, I think Iowa would benefit from Fran McCaffrey, and he's done this in the past, especially with the likes of like a Luca Garza, Jared Utoff, Jordan Bohannon, but he's kind of gone away from it, where he you know wills his team to get so and so the basketball, and this Iowa team doesn't really have an alpha. They don't have an alpha. They have a bunch of solid guys, but they don't have an alpha. And it really does hurt them at the end of the game. So, personally, like I said, I've been saying that the guy needs to be Josh Dix. Peyton Sandfort can be the guy when he's hot, but when he's not, and he does tend to be kind of a streaky shooter, when he's not, he is not a refined enough scorer and does not score proficiently at all three levels to make it happen. So, all right, let's take a look at the stats here because, like I said, I got to do this video quickly. I got to get some sleep. Um, Let me share my screen here. Lately, I've been just recording this on my phone, but I had to do it on this today. Um, Penn State won the second half by 5 points. Iowa won the first half. Um, let's see. Nick Kern had 18 points. That was the individual that gave Iowa the most fits. And usually it's a guard that gives Iowa the most fits, sadly. They shred Iowa's defense. Again, Iowa had really balanced scoring. 16 points from Owen Freeman, 9 rebounds, which was excellent to see. That is who we need Owen Freeman to become. Um, Peyton Sandfort, 10 points, 7 rebounds. Josh Dix, 11 points, 8 assists, 2 rebounds. Drew Thelwell had a great game with 16 points. He's really starting to emerge lately. 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Can you imagine where Iowa would be if they didn't land Drew Thelwell or somebody like him? Because unfortunately, outside of Tony Perkins and Brock Harding, Iowa has not really recruited and I guess you could say Josh Dix, but they have not recruited uh, the point guard position the best. It's kind of taken a lot of time for the guys to develop. Tony Perkins really didn't start to become a solidified guy until his junior year. late sophomore year, definitely junior year. So, anyways, I digress. Um, just think again where they would be without him. Now, you can also make the case, technically speaking, Tony Perkins was supposed to be at Iowa this year. And had he stayed at Iowa, there would have been little to no need for Iowa to go and get somebody in the transfer portal. But I actually like Drew Thelwell better. I think he fits Iowa's game better. They bring a lot of similar characteristics. They're both taller guards at 6'3". I think Drew Thelwell does a better job of being able to play off the ball, whereas Tony Perkins really started to excel as he became more of a big point guard. Um, but I think Drew Thelwell is a more confident shooter. Uh, defensively, I would give the tilt to Thelwell, but they're both very good at steals, hustle plays, things like that. But I think Drew Thelwell just really makes a lot of plays and um they're about the same, but I would lean towards Drew Thelwell. I really like that addition for Iowa, and I knew it was going to be a good addition. Brock Harding, 8 points, 3 assists. Price Anfort, 9 points. Sadao Traore saw an uptick in minutes, which is good. 13 minutes. He had 6 points, 3 rebounds. Lajai Dembele is really falling back. If there's a guy who has seen uh, a fall from grace, it is Lajai Dembele. And I knew this was coming. Fran McCaffrey gave him all the opportunities. He just is not there yet. Physically, he looks great, but he's a very soft player, and he needs to fix that. Riley Mulvey had 5 minutes. I like that. I think that's good. Um, just for what it's worth, I hope he doesn't transfer. But with all the wing additions that Iowa has, Lajai Dembele might transfer after this year. I can already see the writing on the wall. Um, Iowa limited Penn State to 49% shooting. They shot 50%. 3-point shooting, 47.8 to 22. That's great. Free throw percentage, Iowa was not good, 60%. Again, I always say it needs to be closer to 70%, where Penn State was at. Total rebounds, 34 to 33. I'll take it. Um, they only allowed Penn State to have 8 offensive rebounds compared to Iowa's 6. Assists, 20 to 14 in favor of Iowa. Blocks, 5 to 3 in favor of Iowa. Steals, 7 to 5 in favor of Penn State. Turnovers, 10-10. This was a really, I would say, even matchup. I think the better team did win tonight. So it's good for Iowa to get back in the win column. And, they're still very much in the NCAA tournament conversation, but they have slid a lot. I mean, they were squarely in before their multiple losses. This is the point in the season where things are very, very fluid. So Iowa's going to have a huge opportunity to pick up a quad 1 victory on the road against Ohio State. They picked up a quad 2 victory against Penn State tonight. We'll see where things are at with some of these roster adjustments. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment. You guys know the drill. And last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow. Facts or feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. I love you, Hawk fans. See you guys next time. Bye-bye. Go Hawks.